Welcome back, Sebastian here. Time for my preview for the 2024 Chinese Grand Prix. So of course, it's been a very long time since our last Chinese Grand Prix, all the way back in 2019, all the races since then being cancelled because of COVID and COVID restrictions in China. So first, taking kind of a look back at that race, won by Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas finishing second on the road, a 1-2 for Mercedes, with Sebastian Vettel rounding out the podium for Ferrari. Some of the notable incidents from that race was the crash between Daniil Kvyat driving the Toro Rosso and the two McLarens, Sainz and Norris at the time, I believe leading to damage for both cars. Alex Albon also had a great recovery drive from the pit lane to P10 in the other Toro Rosso. And of course, that was the 1000th race in F1 history. I remember it was marketed quite a bit. It was a pretty big deal. Unfortunately, the race itself was quite a dud. Now, moving on to the track itself, the Shanghai International Circuit. We've been going there for quite a while, of course, but in this kind of 4 or 5 year break that we've had, there's quite a few drivers who have never driven here. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But anyway, the track, 5.451 kilometers, will have 56 laps on Sunday, and the track, the race lap record is a 1:32.258, held by Michael Schumacher from 2004. The track itself, definitely a more modern track, not an old school track like the one we just went to in Suzuka, but there are some good places to overtake. I would say the best place to overtake is at turn 14, the long back straight. But of course, to make sure that you can get an overtake, you need to make sure that you have a good exit out of the long right-hander turn 13. We don't really see that many moves into turn 1, but in theory, I guess it's possible. And because of that really tricky nature of those opening 3 to 4 corners, there tends to be a bit of contact there. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes on the opening lap. Sector 2, a lot of high and medium speed corners, not a lot of overtaking there. And it's really just maybe possibly turn 1 and then turn 14 are really your best options. Now, the tires for this weekend will be the middle tires in the range, soft C4, medium C3, and hard C2. For the schedule for this weekend, of course, this is going to be the first sprint of the season, so that means there'll be a lot of important sessions this weekend. So for Friday, FP1 11:30 in the morning Chinese time, and then sprint qualifying 3:30 in the afternoon. Moving on to Saturday, the sprint will be at 11 in the morning, and then qualifying will be at 3 in the afternoon. Followed by Sunday, which will just be the Grand Prix at 3 p.m. local time. So of course, the big difference from the sprint format last year is that basically in the qualifying for the main Grand Prix, instead of being Friday afternoon, it'll move to its traditional Saturday afternoon slot, and then the other 2 sessions basically move 1 slot earlier. So sprint qualifying moves from Saturday morning to Friday afternoon, and the sprint moves from Saturday afternoon to the Saturday morning session. So we'll see how it goes from TV numbers. I honestly expect viewership for the sprint qualifying to be pretty low. The sprint itself might be a bit better, but with time zones and everything, I honestly expect viewership for TVs for North America and Europe to not be great this weekend. Now, before we finish up with some predictions, I want to go over some of the best and worst drivers at this track in qualifying, and these are the percentage of times that they have out-qualified their teammates at this track. And of course, minimum of 3 races, so there's quite a few drivers who are not part of this. So the 3 best drivers: Alonso 89%, Ricciardo 88%, and Perez 67%. For worst, we have Stroll 0%, never out-qualified a teammate here. Sainz 40%, and Bottas at 43%. So just interesting to look at. So finishing up with some predictions, Red Bull have looked very strong the first 4 races, and as a result, I don't think there's any reason really to not predict a Max Verstappen win. Second and third, Perez has been on quite a good run of form the first 4 races, and he's done pretty well at this track historically speaking, so I'm honestly going to just predict a Red Bull 1-2. For rounding out the podium in third, I don't think McLaren are going to have a great weekend this time out. I think the long straights are going to hurt them, and I think the slow speed corners won't help them either. Mercedes might be an option, but I'm not too sure about their high speed performance in Sector 2. So I do think for the final spot on the podium, I think Ferrari are your best choice. and that is between Sainz and Leclerc. Sainz has been on really great form this recently, but not the best track for him historically. So for that reason, I'm going to go with Charles Leclerc rounding out the podium in third. So there you go. There's my not predictions and my preview for the 2024 Chinese Grand Prix. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It really helps things out on the YouTube end. And yeah, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.